I don't know if it's recording. Is it recording? Yes, it's recording. Okay. I am going to just, as I make revelations about this hard problem, I'm just gonna send you little Zoom links with the videos. Because if we actually meet at the Zoom meeting, I'll just be blubbering about shit I don't know about. The first thing I just realized, I had no idea what that was and that was. To me, like I'd never experienced either of them. K is for kinetic, S is for static. Static means it's resting, so remain at rest. So this part of the, I can't highlight, let me download it. The part of the question where it says, what is the thing, whatever, what's the condition, the minimum for it to stay at rest? That means we could pretty much ignore mu k for the whole problem because we want static. We want for this box to not see, even right here, you can see fs. So there's no fk anywhere because the box isn't moving. You can see like this thing, when it's moving, you use k because it's like, this is the force of friction we normally talk about. This is the force of friction before it starts moving, which, let me see if those numbers make sense. No, those numbers don't make sense to me. Oh wait, yes they do. So the reason this number is greater than this number is inertia. If something like this is, the stereotypical thing that most people think of when they think about physics, objects in motion want to stay in motion. That's the normal thing that people know. But the other one is objects at rest want to stay at rest. So if this thing is at rest and it's resting there, it is harder to make it move than it is to get it keep moving. Like if it's moving, the friction is less. So like that's like when, if you've ever gone to like a CrossFit gym or just a gym in general, and you see people trying to like push those like sleighs of weights, it's really hard to start, but once you do it, like people can do it. Like as soon as it's moving, it's actually much easier. But getting it to start moving, same thing with like moving a car. Apropos for today, I rear-ended someone. It was totally my fault, but I'm fucked up, for lack of a better word. Shouldn't say that on a recording. Office hours is one thing. Yeah, so that's why these numbers are different. So let's see. Do you understand? So I didn't even look at this. Like I don't know what this equation means yet. But do you understand these equations? If you do, when it says eliminate this, these arrows say take this one, this equation, right? So these are three different equations, which you can't really tell because they don't have any delimiter, like a comma or a semicolon or whatever. One equation, two equation, right there, three equations. So there's the three equations. And we can make it into one equation if we take this one and follow the arrow and plug it in for there. So instead of t, we write m2g. That's what you see right here. And then for n, we plug in this thing right there for n. So that's what it means. So since you circled this, maybe to be fair, I didn't read the whole question. I just started as soon as I opened it. So I don't know where these equations come from. I could, if you don't understand, then I'll work it out. But you circled these, so I'm just gonna do that. So yeah, you take these three equations that you get, you plug them and you make them one equation. And now let's see. Yes, okay, we did that. So if you understand how to get those three equations, then now you understand this one. It's follow the arrows, plug things in. And the reason we plug things in is because we don't know, like for instance, we don't know what n is. What is n? N. I have no idea what n is. Where's that even come from? Oh, normal force. God, some of these labeling is so annoying. I've never heard of mu k. Mu static is, or no, I've never heard of mu static. I've only heard of mu kinetic. Yeah, but these things, those are all things we know because M1 is given to us right here. Wait, no, we don't. No, that's what we're trying to find. Sorry. That we're given right there. G we're given, theta given, G given, theta given, M2 right here, it's 2 kilograms, and G we're given. So now we solve for this guy right here. First step is to take this thing in the parenthesis. Well, hold on. Let me, never mind. We need to get this thing and isolate for this. And so let me write it down on a piece of paper, and then let me see, so I can show my face. There we go. And then I'll be able to tell if my notepad is up in the right direction. First step is to get all the M1 min to one side. So I have minus, I'm going to take that M2G and put it over here on the right. So I have minus mu S, the static coefficient of friction, parenthesis M1 min G cos theta minus M1 min G sine theta equals, is that a minus? Yes. So now that I took this and I brought it over here, minus on this side, minus on this side. So it equals minus M2G. Then I notice, so it looks like that, if you can see that. This is the second term, third term, and this was the first term that I brought over to this instead of 0. Now I notice that there's an M1 in each of these equations. So I'm going to factor it out like this. M1 min parenthesis negative mu S G cos theta. Is that also a minus? Yes, minus M1 comes out, and then that's what G sine theta. All equals negative M2G. Next step, looks like that. So right here, I've noticed each of these terms has a M1 min, I think it's called. Yeah, M1 min. And so I just, in these two terms, so if you work backwards, multiply this to that term and multiply this to that term, and you get exactly these two. I'm simplifying. And then, now that I have this thing, this equation is basically like x times y equals z. If I want x, then that means I have z over y equals x. So then I write that. M1 min equals negative M2G minus, what I'm also going to do, if you see here, both of these terms have a minus. So I'm going to take that out of this little parenthesis as well. Minus, and the reason I'm doing that is because there's a minus in the numerator and in the denominator. So I have mu S G cos theta minus G. I'm also going to take a G out because there's a G in each of the terms. So it's minus G, parenthesis, mu S cos, wow, that's fucking ugly, equals negative M2G over negative G, parenthesis, mu S. Cos plus, because I pulled the minus sign out, sine theta. Now I have this. M1 min equals, I'm taking this thing and I'm dividing by that because it's x, y equals z. So if I want x, it's z divided by y. Let me just middle thoughts out. X z equals y means y equals z over y. Like that. Yeah, so I made the simplification. I took out negative g because if you see here, both of these terms have a negative and both of these terms have a g. So I took out the negative and the g, and the reason I did that was because this has a negative and a g. And so my final equation is M1 min equals M2, that's it, because I cancel the minus sign and the g. And similarly, I cancel the minus sign and the g in the bottom, and it's mu S cos theta plus sine theta. Final answer is yes, that's what they got. So it's no g's, they cancel the g's in the very last step. So it's M1 min M2 over mu S cos theta plus sine theta. And then you just plug stuff in. Hope that helps. Where's the record button?